Hello everyone, this is my first video for the new technologies. This website is called Edmodo. I selected this website because this is kind of an alternative to Google Classroom. It's kind of just a one place for everything that you need to get out to your students or parents. You can post assignments, videos, quizzes, pretty much anything you can think of that your students might need access to can be located on this page, and you just have to post it. The audience that I would be sharing this video with would be coworkers, students, or parents. I could teach coworkers how to use this or teach my students and parents how it could be a great resource for them also. The purpose is to use this as a communication forum. The main thing that I probably used it for last year was to post videos to it, or just a link to something that I didn't want the kids to have to spend forever looking for. Instead, they just logged on here and had quick access to the links, and I'll show you guys that in a second. The two standards that I am meeting are ISTA for Teachers 4C, Model Digital Etiquette and Responsible Social Interactions Related to Use of Technology, and ISTA for Students 7B. Students use collaborative technology to work with others, including peers, experts, or community members, to examine issues and problems from multiple viewpoints. So now then that we got through with that, I'll show you guys how this works. Our classes are located over here on your little sidebar, and it's basically like a Facebook. So you can just scroll through. This is the home page, so it shows every class, what all I posted. And if my students did happen to post in here, it would also be on my wall, so to say. One thing that I can show you guys how to do is create a class yourself. So we can create, let's just call this math class. And we're going to say that it's 8th grade math, and we're going to say it's algebra. So I can create a class. This is the code that you would share with your students or anybody that you want to have access to this page. If the students are signing up, they do have to send an email to their parents or a text that is letting them know that they are signing up. And it may just be because I was working with middle school students and they were under the age of 13. But anyways, moving on, after you get that, of course, you want to have students in here. And you can add students also yourself rather than just going through the code. But your code also stays over here, so if you need to go find it later, you can. So now if I go to post, I could just create like an announcement for everyone saying, don't forget your homework. And I could post. And for the students, they can download the app or just go to the website. But if they download the app, they can select an option that allows them to see notifications. So anytime I post in here, which a lot of my students figured out that they did need to have those notifications on, then they have access to it immediately and they know. You can also create an assignment. I haven't really ever used it for this because we have another online forum where kids can submit their assignments, but I think it would be a cool thing. You can create quizzes, or you can create polls where the students have to vote, like who is better, Batman or Superman. I could post this and the students could go vote and we could see this on the screen. So that's kind of a cool thing that you could do. Like I said, I've never used the assignments and the quizzes, but I do think that if you didn't have access for students to turn things in online, you could definitely use this. And then you can see what's due up here and the progress. Of course, if you're keeping their grades on here, you could see their progress up here. Another way to keep track of what's due is I could create a category right here and say that chapter 4 test is due tomorrow. So let's just go ahead and create that. Oh, I have to add a recipient. So we'll just say this is my math class that I just created. Create, and it goes on the calendar. And the students have access to that too if it's their class. Many of my students use the messages component of this. I have messages on there from them, so I'm not going to show you guys how to do that. But the app is really cool and convenient. I actually probably used it more than I used on the computer, but it works the same either way. It's just more convenient that I had it on my phone and could communicate with my students straight from there. So I'll show you guys some of the things I used it for last year. I talked about posting links earlier, so let's go to my 8th grade math. One day I had them going to multiple websites, so instead of having them try to go and find the websites themselves, I just created a post that had all of the links in there and they could just go click on those. One thing that I did for my geometry class, because I had a lot of students gone one week whenever we were reviewing, is I created some PowerPoints, and you can upload assignments right on or links right onto this page. So for instance, I just made this PowerPoint and I cut and pasted questions off of some park test released items that we had. That's our state test in New Mexico. And because they were gone, I thought it was really important that they saw these. And then I posted the answers to those questions in the comments so that those kids could make sure that they were doing the problems correctly. And I worked them out down here again so that they could see them. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing. Sometimes kids will message me and say, I'm really stuck on this problem, or I need some extra guidance on this problem, and because they're at home, I have a hard time communicating back with them using, text that this is how you solve the problem. So I would just get on and I would find a video through Khan Academy or Virtual Nerd that I could post to this website, or find the link to their website and post it directly in Edmodo, so that rather than my kids having to search through to find the video that would pertain to that particular lesson, they can just go directly to the link. Sometimes to promote the kids to actually get on here, I'll post fun facts so that they can tell me if I have a bonus question on a quiz, it might be, tell me the fun fact that I posted last night on Edmodo. And that was to try to get them to use this as a resource, because again, if we do all of this work for our students and they never use it, then it's kind of pointless. But I'm a firm believer that we need to give them the opportunity, so I'm going to continue to do that for my students. And the cool thing is, once it's already created, I can just use it the next year. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys find it helpful and maybe that you'll use it in your own classroom.